Looking for a weight loss solution that actually works? Weight Loss by Hers provides access to GLP-1 medications with personalized care to help you hit your goals. Hers is transforming women's healthcare by providing access to affordable weight loss treatment plans delivered straight to your door if prescribed. Hers offers a holistic weight loss program with personalized solutions, including compounded GLP-1 weekly injections featuring the same active ingredient as Ozempic and Wegovy or oral medication kits. So if you've been struggling with your weight loss journey, it's time to find the best option that works for you through Hers. Start your initial free online visit today at forhers.com/KKC. That's FORHERS.com/KKC for your personalized weight loss treatment options. forhers.com/KKC. Hers weight loss is not available everywhere. Compounded products are not FDA approved or verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription required. Restrictions apply. Wegovy and Ozempic are not compounded. Actual price depends on product and plan purchased. Here's the thing, it's kind of gross out. It's freezing. And even those of us that embrace the chilly weather, which is of course not me, we need something to break up long winter nights. Something that I love to do is treat myself to a little something. So I like to go and I like to shop online. And one of my favorite sites to go to is Quince, because you can treat yourself to everyday luxury, but at an affordable price. Something that everyone needs in their closet. In my opinion, the Quince's iconic Mongolian cashmere sweaters are a must-have, which only start at $50. And if you really want to up the luxe factor, you can check out their Italian leather bags. You gotta get the tote bag. So whatever you're looking for, all Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. And they can do that by partnering directly with top factories and cutting the cost of the middleman, passing the savings on to you. And of course, they use premium fabrics and finishes for that luxury feel. So give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/KKC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/KateCasey to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/KateCasey.
The amazing Kate Casey.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey. I cannot wait for you to listen to this episode because I have been waiting for weeks now to talk to Chris DeRosa about Love is Blind. It is the 8th season of this social experiment. That means 5 years this program has been on, and we have endured now up to 8 seasons of this glorious show where essentially you take a bunch of singles and they have to operate in these little pods. And you talk to someone through a wall. You talk about everything you can imagine, intimacy, family, values, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of it, some of them think, I cannot live another day without this person. I must ask them to marry me, even though I have absolutely no idea what they look like. No idea. They could have 3 legs. They have no idea. So then they propose, the person accepts, and then there is a long runway and 2 sets of curtains. The curtains are lifted up. They see each other. They run to one another in the long hallway, and then the one provides the engagement ring. And then they get to sit on the couch and kind of chat a little bit. And then they may or may not have a glass of champagne, and then they have to leave one another. So they go through a period of time where they have no idea what someone looks like. They're engaged, get to see each other, hang out for approximately what seems to be 7 minutes, maybe less. And then they're separated. And then the next time they get to hang out is on a trip to a tropical location with the other couples. And then we see if they actually have any sexual and physical chemistry. So it is such a fascinating watch. You have people on these pods who may or may not be exaggerating who they are and what they want. And then at some point after that tropical vacation, they've got to live together in some sort of apartment situation where they meet one another's families. And then it culminates in this wedding ceremony. And you get to find out if they actually go through with the marriage. Chris and I get so fired up about these seasons. Now, this season is a group of 32 singles that are from the Minneapolis-St. Paul area of Minnesota. Now, I got to be honest, a lot of them look alike. Some of them meld into one another. Nevertheless, by episode 6, I was sitting straight up in my chair and thought, I did not see this coming. So I need you to watch it if you have not watched this. But even if you have not, you're going to get so much joy out of listening to the two of us riff. Now, you won't be surprised that who I think is a villain, Chris absolutely loves. And then people that are, the other side, we get fired up. So he loves someone, I hate them, and then the reverse. Another thing I need to tell you is that this weekend, my son was asked to play for a lacrosse team that was traveling here from Minnesota. And so he's playing in the game, and I barely knew what the score was because the entire time I was inching my way towards the parents of the team from Minnesota, thinking that if I engage in conversation, it would quickly turn into Love is Blind chatter, and someone may know some inside information. These are the kind of problems I have. Side note, the following day, I went to a dance competition and I walked past one of the singers from the band 98 Degrees, tagged him in an Instagram post. He wrote me back. I think he might be coming on the podcast. So this is a KKC problem. I go to a hockey game and I want to talk about Love is Blind. I go to a dance competition and I walk past a boy bander and I have to have him on the show. I feel like a lot of you are my people and you get this. So circling back, first 6 episodes, Love is Blind, season 8, Minneapolis. Wowzers. And Chris is back with me to talk about it. I think a lot of you are fired up too. Make sure that you watch the next few episodes that will air on Friday because we want to keep up to date on what is going on in their lives. And there is so much to unpack. As always, make sure you're checking the other episodes because I've had some doozies. Fox Hollow Murders. Are you kidding me? We beat the Dream Team yesterday. Crazy story. And then tomorrow, I'm going to have Molly from Southern Charm. And then a Saturday episode you're going to love. So make sure that you are subscribed to the show and leave a 5-star review and check out the bonus episodes too. Chris.
Catherine.
Oh, God, I hate that. I don't even remember that's my name. If someone says that name, I'm like, who? Did I told you why my mom called me Catherine?
You have, but I don't remember what the story is.
She told me I was named after Catherine from Taming of the Shrew.
Oh, yeah. Which is like the slam of all slams. But I love that.
Slamity slam.
Yeah. But like, I mean, okay.
Yeah, but I've never been that. I was Katie until age 21.
And then you were Kate.
And then you were Kate. Although some people as a child would call me Kate. I have one friend who says, you were always a Kate. You were never a Katie. So I don't know. Friends in college will call me Katie.
I see you as a Kate.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you briefly about Saturday Night Live and the 50th anniversary special. Did it blow your hair back the way it blew back mine?
I really liked it a lot. And I really felt it felt very passing of the torch in a way that I thought was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And it could have been really not well done. And it was like they had everyone on that needed to be on. Mm-hmm. They had like really good guests. Like the fact that it opened with Sabrina Carpenter and Paul Simon was, in my opinion, like the perfect of being like, this is what this show will be. Like someone who's like a star on the rise, who is like, has solidified herself into becoming like, she's going to be famous for a long time. And then a living legend to be like, here, I sang this song on, what did he say? He's like, I sang this song on this date in 1975. And she goes, I wasn't born yet. And neither were my parents. Like perfect joke.
Oh God.
Like so
That's
funny.
Painful.
Do you know
Is
what I mean?
True?
No.
Oh, thank God. Wowzers.
No, that's a joke. It has to be a joke. But do you know what I mean? Like that's funny. And then it was like, good. I really liked it. Yeah. I was like, all right, like I'll watch for an hour. And when it gets stupid, I'm going to like switch over to White Lotus. And we were there until 11:20.
Yeah, stayed the course.
Watching the whole thing and stayed the whole course. And then we watched White Lotus. So
in the last couple of years, I've had the privilege of getting to know Lorraine Newman and Julia Sweeney through Kathy. And Julia was texting us pictures from the show, like all of the people she was with. And when I tell you the great joy she felt to be back there with everyone, that creative energy. And I think that Adam Sandler song really encapsulated that. And the way that they all stood up and clapped, you know that everyone standing there, that was a completely life-changing experience that forever changed the trajectory of their life. That was so cool. But also people like you and me who watched those skits. I mean, I would rehearse them. I would make my friends reenact them. For me, my hero always to the end of time is Gilda Radner. And it just broke my heart when Lorraine and Jane held her picture up at the end. Yeah. Just that live Lost is just, ugh. And I love seeing Bill Murray, who's like my other favorite. Bill Murray, Martin Short, and Gilda Radner. They're my favorites.
Molly Shannon coming out as Sally O'Malley. I mean, it was like iconic. And then right after that, for it to then be like a whole thing of, what is her name? Superstar. Mary Catherine Gallagher.
Yeah.
Did you read her memoir?
I did. It was one of the best. I have to say, you got to do the audio version. It is even better.
The way that she talked about how she like auditioned and then they said no. And then she spent like 5 years perfecting her shit and then got it. And then even like her most famous character of all time. And like in my opinion, one of the most famous characters on SNL of all time, Mary Catherine Gallagher. It was like everyone told her it wouldn't work. And then she did it what was it? She did it at the dress rehearsal and Lauren looked at her and was like, that's perfect. Just make her skirt like 17 inches shorter so they can see her underwear. Like, which is like, and it was this thing where everyone was saying, no, he doesn't like sexual humor. He doesn't like this. He won't like this. He'll hate this. He'll hate this. And he was like, this is perfect. Just make her skirt shorter. Because you should see her like granny panty underwear because that's funny because she's like so innocent. And it was like perfect. And that became a staple of her. That memoir to me and the way that she was going to do whatever she was going to do. And they had to like build sets around her that were going to be safe enough for her.
Yeah.
And even like when they were like, oh no, she said she's not going to fly back into this thing. And the stunt person was like, I don't care what she says. Once she gets up there, like that's not her anymore. Like we have to build this all to be breakaway because she's going to break through the toilet. And then like when she did that one, she broke right through the toilet. Like,
yeah,
it was, oh God.
When one part of her book that stayed with me and I've used it and I feel shame a lot. I don't know if you feel this shame, but like sometimes I because I'm a one-man band, I feel I don't want to burden people by talking about my show, but the truth is like I'm my own PR marketing person, so I have to.
Yes.
So one part in the book when she talks about when she had shows in LA, she would have kept this like a notebook of everybody she met's
and
phone
she would
number
call everyone.
Them. That I felt I released a lot of the shame that I feel.
Yeah. When
I read that, I thought if Molly does it, I can do it too.
Yeah.
She's great. Unbelievable.
And that was her one that she like she was going to have the SNL scouts there and she packed the room and she like killed it. And that's what got her like the audition again.
There's just, I think that what Lauren saw in her, she said something in the book about like he loved the Irish Catholic part of it, probably resonated with him. But there is a pure joy to Molly that I just don't think we see in people. Like she's just really happy. Despite all the circumstances of her life, which are
harrowing when you read when she was up there when they redid the singing badly, like the Bridesmaids, and she got up as the mom and was grinding on Bad Bunny. I was screaming. Hassan and I were screaming at the top of our lungs. She was like throwing it back on him, and it was like really like it was not as a joke. Like they were grinding, like her butt and his penis were tight. I was screaming.
What about Robin's performance? That was probably my favorite musical one. With David Byrne.
Oh, at the concert?
Yeah.
Well, Dominic was at the concert.
I know.
And he was out. Like there in not like up in the nosebleeds. Like in his row, down later in his row was Meryl Streep. Like
dying.
And Martin Short.
That's actually what I wrote him. Dying.
Yes.
Dying.
Yes. No, we're going to have we're going to have a full
I can't wait for
rundown of the whole thing on the podcast.
I want a rundown of that and then maybe even a rundown of the actual show.
Oh, no, we will.
Oh, wait. What about the fact Cher looks like a dynamo still? Her body.
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I think that John Hamm and Kevin Costner were like kind of putting it through their heads.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I could spend the night with her.
I obviously fired off a text that was like Cher is sitting next to Kevin Costner screaming bloody murder. Like
his hair though. It's like he got like a haircut to look like he just got off the waves in Santa Barbara.
Yeah, he did.
It's a little
He looks good though. He looks
How
great.
many single women in Hollywood right now are like, I think I have a shot. Like Jennifer Lopez.
I mean, Jennifer Lopez really has a shot, actually, is what we're praying for that. So
do you think you would like her?
They went on don't you remember they like went on a date in Aspen and they've been like talking every day or something? Please, it's like some dumb shit.
But
like,
think about
page
it.
6 story, but like,
based on what we know of both of them, which is little to nothing, like, in private time, do you think they would have enough in common?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so. I think they...
Listen,
I think he doesn't take
glam
himself
team, and he's like Yellowstone. He likes to ride horses.
No, but he needs a glam team to get on that horse. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, let's not act like, stop.
He doesn't have a flat iron. He has a flat iron. Yeah.
He's not... You just talked about how he got a haircut to look like he was like in Blue Crush. You know what I mean?
Touché.
Let's not act
Good
like
point. Point taken. Check
He's not like, what am I, baling hay as a hobby. Like, let's really be real,
Right. Okay. Well,
but I thought the SNL thing was great. I thought that, and even like when Tina and Amy were then like, this celebrity, and they're like, is this just a thing that you're doing to like show the other celebrities? And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, it was so well done in every way, like making fun of themselves.
Spectacular. Yeah.
Bronx Beat, my favorite sketch
Bronx
ever.
Beat, Michael Myers.
Myers coming back out of complete nowhere. Like, they really did it all. When Kate McKinnon as the woman that gets abducted by aliens,
that was probably
Hassan and I were grabbing
one.
each other by the throats and like rocking each other, and like we were like screaming, like we were dying when she went under. What is his name? Not Pedro Pascal. What was he? What's his name? Matthew McConaughey's like cousin. Woody Harrelson. When she went under Woody Harrelson's thing and was wearing it like a wig, we were in tears. We were like.
The fact you just called Woody Harrelson his cousin because he
aren't they like they are really cousins, aren't they?
Well, they're like I think half brothers. They're alluding that their father slept with both of their mothers. They could be half brothers, but they won't do the DNA test. I'm like, for the love of God, just do it.
Yeah, just do it. But they can't. No, I wouldn't. No, they can't. They can't. Because then and that opens a door that can never be shut, Kate.
I know, but they do look alike, and they're close.
I call them cousins. Like they are, and they're like friends. And like,
okay, wait, what would happen if the situation were in our court and that there's a possibility that my dad could be your dad? Would you want to find out? Well,
you and I would do it. You and I would do it, but we're not A-list celebrities. So that's, do you know what I mean?
But I mean, what's the harm? They're not. They are. They are.
I don't know.
Okay. So any last thoughts about SNL?
No, I thought it was great.
It was great.
Oh, the Miley Cyrus and
she sings like
Brittany Howard, despite like on purpose trying to look like her mother and looking like she smells like cigarettes. Her voice has never been better.
Never been better.
And that Brittany Howard is a star. Like, she is a star.
Yeah.
And that was great. And the fact that they did Nothing Compares to You, and not only was it like a Prince tribute, but then also a Sinead O'Connor tribute was, I thought, genius.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good because like Miley, obviously we all know, but like Brittany Howard is someone that like my dad probably doesn't know, but like would watch this and be like, wow, I fucking love this.
Yeah.
Like, who is this? You know what I mean?
Which is the beauty of Saturday Night Live. There's so many musical artists that people really didn't know of until they performed on that show, and it changed their careers. Which, never forget, whenever Adele performed at the Grammys, like a full year and a half after she became a household name for like Rolling in the Deep and Someone Like You, my dad was like, who's this Adele? Like, is she like, do you know her? And I was like, yes, and the entire world knows her. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I know. But to his credit, like sometimes artists blow by me because. Sure, but she was, I mean, it was everywhere. Yeah. Anyway, that's just funny. He was like, this Adele. I was like, no, she's a global superstar. Like, stop. That's like when my mom told me she went to this really good Chinese restaurant. And I asked her what it was. And she said, it was called P.F. Chong's. She said Chong's. Or as my dad called it one time, F.P. Tang's. Oh, someone just drove their car into a tree. Yeah, yes. Truly. All right. Well, I got you back here. And I told you I needed you because it's the 5th anniversary of a little show called Love is Blind, a social experiment. Wow. Oh, 5 years. It really is. You're right. It was like, it was right before COVID. Oh my God, you're so right. Before COVID. Holy shit. First of all, can I talk about how I was like watching all of it? And then like, we didn't even discuss that I was coming on to do this, but then was like, I'm watching it. And then you're like, okay. And I was like, we've become too close because we didn't even discuss that this was going to happen. And I was like, I'm watching. And then eventually last night I was like, do you have someone already? And that's why you haven't asked me to come and do this. No, but like, I did. What are you talking about? And you were like, no. Did you? Oh, maybe yes, in the episode, Ding Dong, I said, you better buckle up because I need you back here for Love I guess you're Blind. Right. I felt that I wasn't You're like asked, circling the drain. You're like, and by the way, do you have somebody? I'm like, yeah, you nerd. What are you doing tomorrow? I know. Oh my God. Wait, what's the picture from above the mirror? No, you didn't get rid of Spice Girls. No, that's over there. Frame. Hassan's like doing something. I don't know. Okay. You have to let people do what they want. Is this like a Trading Spaces situation? Spice Girls is up. It's on this other wall. But Kate, I don't ask questions. You know how he is. This is, he's doing something abstract. It's askew. And empty. skew NFT?
I don't know. Kate, I don't know. It is what it is.
Do you guys have picture frames in your house from TJ Maxx that have like another family in it?
No, we have stuff in them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to cover my bases. All right.
No, we have too many. We have too much to put in frames to not. Yeah. Anyway.
All right, let's talk again about Love is Blind, because this one is headed to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Little known fact you may not know is this is the largest cast yet. They had 32 people all ready for matrimony. Technically not all from Minneapolis. I saw a couple South Dakotas thrown in there, some St. Paul's. But generally, I think that they called the news stations in the Minnesota area. And they said, look, we're coming to town. If you need love, we're here. And I think that people far and wide came. And they curated that list down to 32. And then from there, of course, when the pods begin, that whittles down to the people that actually have some sort of connection. And we watch their love unfold.
And, first note for the producers is like the point of the reason I liked this show so much at the beginning was because like in theory, none of them could use like distance as an excuse to not be together like they do on The Bachelor every season. And so like, I don't like that we're getting some South Dakotas and some other major cities in Minnesota, which is a humongous state. Do you know does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so. But listen, if you find love in that part of the country, you got to go for it, Pack up your stuff.
I guess like Minneapolis and St. Paul are both next to each other, are they not? Am I wrong?
Does this make you want to move to Minnesota or at least visit?
No.
Okay.
Visit, sure. I would love to go to every state. I would love to go to Minneapolis and see what's
I would love to go to Minneapolis myself.
Yeah. And like,
I don't want to go in the middle of the winter.
Does it make me want to live there? Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well, most places on television.
It's giving Minneapolis in not only hair extensions, but outfits. May I say that?
Let's talk for a second about that. I got a problem with the shoes. I don't like the chunky square heel with the braided sandal look.
Yeah,
those should all be burned in a fire. I'm willing to light that fire. I don't want to see them ever again.
It's just a little... Kate, this is a problem. And I'm going to sound mean, and that's fine. It's not going to be the first or last time I do that on this here show. When you're talking about, we're coastal elites, as, our president, Donald Trump, like to call us. You live in Orange County. I live in New York City. Like the fashions are fashioning. Here in the middle of the country, they're getting our fashions from a couple years ago. Like the braided square-toed shoe was like all the rage like 3 years ago in New York. You know what I mean? Or like on Instagram. Like, so they're now getting it at where they are. And that's what we're seeing here. Much like the hair extensions that don't match and are not styled like the other hair or the clothing. We're going to get into all of that as well. As we go through people, I'll give my red flags of like styling needs to be upped.
What do you think about the gentlemen of this show and their style?
Kate.
I feel like it's like a potato. It's just quite bland.
They all wear it's especially here. It's like, oh, you went out, or like the production of the show went out to buy you guys clothes because you've never like had to wear like a blazer ever in your life. Maybe, some of them wear I don't like when they're wearing suits and then it's just like and then it's just bad. It's just a bad suit. Like, it's like, wear a fun suit. Wear something that looks nice, not just like I'm wearing a suit to wear a suit. And then they're wearing like, I don't know, it's very...
I would rather them just wear their street clothes. Don't wear a suit. It's just, just wear what you would wear to a baseball game, because that is really who you are.
Yeah,
right?
But that's not, I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see that?
I don't want to see that.
You know what I don't want to see is in their pictures, which kind of promote the season, and they're like full length, headshot kind of situation.
Yeah, the ones I'm looking at right now.
Each woman is wearing a square-heeled shoe, which is plastic. I guess, presuming that it's to make them look longer, but it just looks like a stripper who has a part-time job at Kohl's.
And a lot of just like bridesmaids dresses.
Yeah, bridesmaidsy. Yep.
Like very bridesmaids dress, or like Forever 21, like this came, or like honestly, like Amazon Basics, like this came in like a crinkle, like packaging. Do you know what I mean?
Perhaps from China. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bought
like
off Instagram. We've all done it.
No, like if they're lucky from China. You know what I mean? Or like it's like, yeah, oof. Some I'm looking at them and it's Molly, the red hair bangs, as I called her, like first dress, green, like ice princess / like. It's so bad.
You know what's weird is that she's a former Minnesota Timberwolves dancer, but her posture is clunky. It surprises me she's a dancer.
But like her outfits are giving dancer.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like ice capades, this dress I'm seeing in this picture.
Mm-hmm.
And she like couldn't be prettier. Like this is the other thing is like they're cute. I like all the girls I'm enjoying.
They're very cute. I
have very few like no's with the girls. I think they're really fun. I'm enjoying them, even with the crazy ones I'm liking. But then it's just like some of the clothing is really rough. But again, it's what it is.
But do you think that the good people who work at that show go, we would be dishonest to the audience if we put them in cool New York street clothes?
You have to, like, it is what it is.
What it is.
Yeah. You can't put your thumb on the lever, on the scale.
You just want the Zarian brothers to come in and give like a glow up.
I just want to be like, hey, why would you buy this?
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about some of the people that are kind of being pushed forward to us.
Our front runners.
They're our front runners, right? So I'm going to go through just a couple of them with like a little ditty, if you will.
Sure.
Alex is 29. He's a commercial real estate broker. He's looking for an adventurous and slightly nerdy woman who can overlook his snoring. These little bits, I'm like, why would you share the part about the snoring at all? Like that's something you should keep in your back pocket and someone should find out about that after they've been subjected to living with you for 2 months. Okay, I don't know if I would walk forward with that.
This is the guy that was like bullied a lot in school and it looks like a popcorn shrimp version of Harry Jowsey, right?
Yes, he's very cute.
Looks exactly like Harry Jowsey, right?
Yeah. He's a Midwest Jowsey. Jowsey. Yes.
Sure. Yeah.
I think he's really cute. I just thought, you just sold yourself down the river. Stop. This show is sponsored by Liquid IV. A lot of you are starting new rituals for the new year. Whatever you do, you can come into your own way with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. I have to say my favorite flavor is the new hydration multiplier sugar-free raspberry lemonade because it's a bright, zero sugar, flavor combining notes of ripe, freshly picked raspberries and citrusy, zesty lemon. I just take the pack and I pour it into a large glass of ice cold water and I knock it back and I feel like $1,000,000 and my skin, it looks so much better and it really gets me going on my day. I think you're going to love it too. I love the benefits. I like feeling like I'm hydrated all day long. And if you're somebody who's outdoors or plays sports, this is an absolute must-have. So listen, break the mold and own your ritual. Just one stick plus 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. So embrace your ritual with extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV and get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code Kate Casey at checkout. That's 20% off your first order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code Kate Casey at liquidiv.com. Let's be honest, raising a family today can feel like navigating a maze of unhealthy options. It's really hard to know what's actually good for our kids. That's why I love Thrive Market. It's like having a personal guide to healthier living for my entire family. They make it simple to find trusted, family-friendly brands without spending hours in the grocery store, and who has time for that? My favorite part, the Healthy Swaps scanner in the Thrive Market app. You need this, and I'll tell you why. You can scan a product that you're used to buying and it instantly recommends a cleaner, healthier alternative. For example, my kids love tacos and instead I got grain-free shells. They didn't even know the difference and they love them. For my family, this has been a game changer. I've made some great swaps. So I'm telling you, you're going to want this. You're going to love it. I found so many new brands I've never heard of, and you're going to love them too. Ready for a junk-free start to 2025? Head to thrivemarket.com/Kate Casey, and you're going to get 30% off your first order, plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/Kate Casey, thrivemarket.com/Kate Casey. There's Ben. He's 28 and a developer. I don't know what he develops, but he's a developer. He's looking for a woman who can match his energy and lead with vulnerability. It is also important to note that he says he can sense when someone's feeling left out. I've a kind of sixth sense for that and just love to bring people in and make them feel included.
He's hot. Like when I saw him, I think he's so hot.
It's
like
the lips?
Okay, listen, just like this is pre anything. Like this is just saw a man on my screen in a group of men. And I was like, whoa, that guy is so hot. His jaw, like, he's just like a man. Whereas like this little popcorn shrimp Harry Jousey, I'm like, get me out of here. Like he's like,
oh, that's so funny because all of a lot of them look like my husband. Alex and Dave look like my husband. And I think that's
sure, but no, I don't think so.
Oh, and Daniel looks like my husband too.
But like this Ben character, I was like, whoa, this is the hottest guy, like by a mile, the hottest one. Just physically without we heard anything. His hair was nice. Like he was giving hot. Like I wrote, dollar store Henry Cavill is hot. I said. And like, that's what he is to me. And I was down with that until he opened his mouth and I found out he was like not only a Jesus freak, but is a loser. But other than that, I was like, the bones of this, okay, hello, ding dong, here we are.
By the way, I don't really believe he's religious. I feel like he was, that was some sort of strategic move.
Sure. Yeah, there's something's
amiss. Brittany's 35, a partnership executive, and she's a successful businesswoman who's worked with the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB, in addition to playing and coaching Division I college basketball. There you go.
Okay, wait, Brittany, hold on, stand by.
Well, she's the one who had hots for Devin, and then she shared later that she's also into women.
Oh, justice for her first and foremost. The treatment of any queer person on this show is like should be a black cloud that hangs over this show, by the way.
Well, she's looking for a confident man. I want them to kind of have their own little thing and be able to teach me some things. I was like impressed with the ages. Like there's one woman on here who's 43.
And looks like she's 23. Like she
sure did. Yeah.
She is gorgeous. But of course the guys are like 43, ew, you know what I mean? They're like, boo, get out. Like the 29-year-olds are like throwing up in their mouths, but like she's hot to trot. What is her name? Amanda? Like hottie. Like I was so into her. And then I was like, I was like seeing her in the mix. I was like, oh, she's going to be like real. She's pulling someone. And then it's like, no,
and she's too introspective. I think she's too wise. You know?
Yeah, she was like, she's like, you 29-year-old little loser. Like, what am I going to do with you? You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
There wasn't, to me, there were no like older men that were like popping.
Daniel?
But yeah, Brittany I liked and she was funny and I liked her. And then of course the minute she's like, I've like dabbled with women, which P.S. isn't that like every man's like dream is to like have a threesome with two women?
I don't know. I'm not a man. I can't tell you.
Isn't that like the straight guy's like dream of their life? You know what I mean? Like, and so she's like, I've like been with women. And he was like, what? And then was like, after he just shared. Am I going to too deep into this already?
Go ahead.
But this guy shares that like he was like addicted to ibuprofen. I'm not trying to be like, I was like, good that it was on the ibuprofen and not something worse.
Crystal meth, right?
Yeah, like truly, that's what we were saying. Is like you could have been like a meth addict and said it was ibuprofen. So like, but shared something very vulnerable about himself, and then she shared something vulnerable, and she received his, and was like cool, and then she shared hers, and he was like, oh, I like don't think I can be with you anymore, and I was like, you're a fucking asshole.
Well, I don't know. I think that's important. These conversations are really important because
but like table it and just be like, thank you for sharing that with me. And then like process it on your own and then like come back to her. Don't like be vulnerable. And then when someone else is vulnerable with you, then be like, oh, you shouldn't have told me that.
Yeah.
And she was like, I like want to be with.
Well, I can't be honest with you about anything if that's the reaction I get. Yeah. But I also think, listen, if you're going to be wanting to marry somebody, you have to have difficult conversations.
Yeah,
I
just really hated that it was like, oh, the minute someone is like, has ever been with the other sex, they're like, oh, I could never be with you, blah, blah, blah.
Daniel is 30. He's a sales executive. Fun fact, he was a former Gerber baby. And he just wants a woman who will love him and his tendency to put his foot in his mouth unconditionally. He's insecure about the fact he's 5'8".
Daniel is, hold on, I'm scrolling. Daniel is some of these men, whoa. Like,
Daniel's the one that gets engaged to, and then like she thinks he was like looked at her profile already.
Yeah, what was that? It turned into like investigation discovery. I was like, what's happening?
Yeah, hold on. Daniel to me was the cutest. I felt like a real love for him.
No.
Yes, because
that's the one that took Christmas card pictures alone and was like sending it to all of his friends.
Yeah, I'm not talking about his personality. I'm just saying aesthetically.
Looking at his face.
That's I like a guy with sandy hair and light blue eyes.
Sure.
That's my kind of thing. Yeah.
Sure.
So cute. I thought he was cute.
Okay.
Then you had David, age 33, medical device sales, looking for a partner who shares his social stamina, but is a different enough personality to keep him curious, who can deck the halls with all 40 of his cousins every Christmas Eve. He's way into his sister. Like his sister's opinion is very important.
My sister will probably hate you. It's like what he said to all the women. It's like, that's like really not good.
I don't like guys like that. I just find it so disturbing and confusing when they lead with like, I have a super close family and you're never going to be accepted by them. Like, why are we here?
Well, because want to know why? Because he probably brings home like slore bag after slore bag, being like, "This is my like new girlfriend that I'm really serious about." That's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, just not someone that you're going to be serious about. It's someone that you would go out and party with and bang and have fun. And please do that. Like, that's not. I'm not slamming anything, but it's like he's bringing home like these girls that are like trying to go to the club every night. Do you know what I'm saying? And then so the sister's like, "You're a fucking idiot." To the brother. It's 100% what it is, right?
Yeah. The other thing is he did note that he basically has a job where he sells Botox. And he did say that it's made him quite judgy. And then I thought any woman that he chooses is screwed.
And like, he's not cute enough to be judgy. Sorry to say.
Because he led with the judgment, that gives room for people to go, well, what's your deal?
He also was like, I was like, okay, now I'm really doing it. He was not giving it. I am sorry that I'm about to do this, but it was just simply, this is me looking at it from my perspective. Yeah. Physically, body-wise, he wasn't like giving like, in the suit, I was like, like, you probably shouldn't be super critical about other people's appearances because you're not bringing it.
I actually think he does have a nice body.
As it went on, I was like, wait, he like has a nice body.
Yeah, like he played college baseball. I think he's
but he got it on. But I didn't get that. I got like chubby and like is now in
you were thinking
was
that, right?
Was fat or chubby and now is like not and thinks that he's like hot as shit and he's not. But once he then was in like a t-shirt and shorts, I was like, oh wait, he does have a nice body. Like what am I doing? Like I saw that, but at the beginning I was like former fat kid that now is like quote unquote like good looking is in his mind. And so he like treats women like shit.
Oh, okay. No, I think he was a hot baseball player who works in an industry, which is pretty surface. So,
and I think, regardless,
that's the experiment for this dude is like, you're going to meet a girl through the wall. What if she doesn't have the body and the wrinkleless face that you expect?
And like negging, like you don't stop like negging women. Like what? Like I get at a bar that sometimes works, even on me, wink. But like don't be like negging women in the pods. Remember what's her name? The one girl was like that ended up being with is with him was like, should I leave? She was like, you're an asshole. Like, yeah, I didn't like that. He grew on me, but I'm like, my antenna is so up on him, and he was obviously given the edit of like the villain. I mean, not from his own words, he was like the guy that we're all like this fucking asshole. But he is growing on me, but we will have problems with him, I'm sure.
Now, he was talking to Molly, who you mentioned with the Ice Capades dress, who was the dancer. She's an executive assistant, but also was talking to a girl named Lauren, who's 31 in education sales, who's from a big Irish Catholic family with 80 first cousins. So I thought, well, that's nice that they have that in common, that they're going to have big family parties. But once they started really getting into it, I just thought, I don't think she's going to live up to the incredible standards that he has set, the high standards he set because of the job that he has.
Lauren.
Yeah, she seems too normal.
She, to me, is so pretty. I think she's so cute. I think she's so fun. I love her hair. Not an extension in sight. Good hair. Mm-hmm. Great hair, cute face. Like, I think she's cute. I think some of her clothes need to be a little bit, we could go up on the clothes, but like, I found her to be like such a catch in the way that like she seemingly like has a good job, like takes care of people. Like she to me has a good head on her shoulders and is like a really great person. I wish she would have been with a guy. Like he to me is going to be like, you're not like this like slutatious woman that I want.
Slutatious indeed. Yes.
You know what I mean?
I think you're right. Yep.
Or like, I want a girl that's like a 10 and we're going to be like blowing money at the club. And she's like, I'm like a teacher. I'm basically a teacher. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And she's like a down-home girl and she's so cute to me. I'm so obsessed with her.
I know, but there's just no way.
But will the sister like her?
No. The sister not like anybody.
But the sister, but also we don't even know the sister. So the sister could just be, again, the sister could be like, thank God you're here. This is what I want to happen. This would be great TV for me.
Yeah.
They come, they meet the family. I hate these fucking scenes. I fucking hate so much. But like they meet the family or whatever. No, I love them, but I like want to kill every person in it. But she's going to come, like she's going to come and she's going to be like, hi. And the sister's going to be like, oh my God, you're so pretty. You're so cute. Blah, blah. She's going, my brother, with these fucking whores that he used to bring home. Like she's going to be like smoking a cigarette, being like his fucking slut girlfriends that he used to bring. Or like, blah, blah. And she's going to be like, Lauren's going to be like horrified. And she's going to be like, oh yeah, the one Brazilian butt lift after the next with him. Ha ha. And then Lauren's going to be like, that's not me. I'm like a, doesn't she sell like curriculums to schools?
Yes,
like she's like, I like work in the school system and like blah, blah, blah. And this and that. And like, and she's going to be like, oh my God, you're like way too nice for my brother. He's a fucking asshole. That's 100% what's going to happen. Am I wrong?
Or you meet the sister and then because he gets a deal on Botox, she's Botox to the wind.
She's like the Catwoman that just died.
And she's like, what do you mean you don't get Botox? I don't think
I don't know. No, I think that she's going to like her and then they're going to flip it on him. And she's going to be on her side and that's going to be fun for us to watch.
Okay, let's hope.
She's going to be like, you're not good enough for her. Like, that's what I want to see like in a meeting of the minds with them.
Years ago when I was watching The Bachelor, it was Andrew Firestone and he chose Jen Sheft, who's lovely. And I remember his brother says to Jen in front of Andrew, he better not screw this up because we'd like something like you're a peach and we'd like you.
We
more.
like you. Yes.
It didn't work out.
Or she's like as my mom says to Hassan, I told you not to date my son.
Touche, good call. Madison is 28 and she's an artist. And she's been talking to Alex, who is the Midwest Jowsy, and then another fella named Matt Mason, who's 33 and he's a cinematographer. And she's looking for a guy who matches her goofy girl energy, bonus points if he can roll up his sleeves and join her in the studio. I believe she may be the most calculating woman that has ever appeared on any Love is Blind thus far.
I agree with that, but because I also like her though, because she has been through a lot of stuff and I feel like I think she learned that from her past that is harrowing.
Okay, yeah, but she's 28 and she's going to break the hearts of two guys in the process though. I think she gets a high off of making a man feel less than, like a crumble of a shell of a person that they were before.
Oh, I disagree.
I think is so sad.
Oh, I disagree with you. I didn't see that.
You do not see that?
I don't think of her as like a villain, really.
Oh dear, I do. Yeah, she was playing both of them. She was a different version of herself for both of them.
Yeah, that's true.
And the way that she was like using her like go-go gadget ear to listen to conversations between Meg and the other women. And once she could smell that Meg was connecting with one of them, she was like, I'm going to destroy that. I have a feeling that she has a hard time having any sort of relationship in her life.
Yeah, I mean, but who can blame her? Not for nothing. I feel like she laid all of her cards out on the table as far as like trauma. Mm-hmm. And I like felt for her and I was like, well, of course this is how you operate. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I know, but it doesn't make it right to hurt someone's feelings.
I didn't see her as like a villain. I see what you're saying and I like get it and I agree with it. I personally think that like, I don't know, I liked her. There was something about, and I will say that I feel like the guys did both kind of do her dirty too. I don't think they're innocent.
How do you think they did her dirty?
The one guy was like, I'm committed to you. And then was like, oh, JK.
Oh, I mean.
Like he lied to her. Like he should have said like, listen, I have 2 connections and I need to figure out what I want to do. We've seen that a million times, which is why we like the show. But instead he was like, no, I don't have another connection, and did.
Mm-hmm.
And I like him too. First of all, I think he's like so cute. And I like found him to be like a nice person that seemed to have a good head on his shoulders. He just like made one mistake. And then the other guy was like, I'm nervous that you're going to like run away from me. And she's like, well, I'm just telling you what.
Yep.
Yeah, you're avoidant. And she's like, okay, well, like I'm being truthful with you, like blah, blah, blah. Like, what can I do? I found her to be like upfront. Yes, she was 2 different people to those guys, but I feel like also, I don't know. I was fine with it. Weirdly, I was into her. I don't know why.
I don't know why
I don't
either.
find her a monster.
I do a little bit. Not a full monster, but has monster-like qualities.
But it makes sense to me based on all the stuff that she told us about her past.
I that stuff makes me sad because a lot of people who come from terrible circumstances don't actually carry it into their marriages.
Sure.
And relationships.
Yeah.
So it's not okay to behave in a way that's hurtful to other people because you had a bad beginning life circumstance.
Oh no, I agree with you. I'm just saying like it doesn't surprise me that she did this. Like when she was like, I have my nipples pierced to the one guy, the cinematographer / skater. I wrote, do you want to know something about my nipples? They're pierced. And I said all capitals, she's locking it down. Like she was like, oh, you have another connection? Like I'm like a sexual freak. Let's do this. And he was like jizzing his pants over.
But I think she was doing that because she wanted to win and not because she really had any intention of having some sort of connection with him in like pre-marriage or marriage. She could smell competition, and then she was using the sexual innuendos to get them to want to be with her. I think she got a high off of having these 2 men fighting for her.
Sure. I mean, yeah, but like that's what the show is it not?
I think when you get people that are getting like, but really like getting far into it, it's like don't play both of them. Like just because Meg is waiting in the wings, and she's an oncology nurse, and she really wants to be with Mason, and she knew it, and then she was like palling around with all the women, and then she was sabotaging the possibility of Meg and Mason actually having something when she had no intention of ever being with Mason in the long run.
But he also had 2 girls. He did the exact same thing that she did. I think he did the same. And again, what does it fucking matter? But I think like it takes 2 to tango, and he was totally there and was entertaining 2 people as well.
Okay. All right.
We're never going to agree.
We're never going to agree. Okay. Monica, 28, digital marketing. She fell for Joey, who she said had golden retriever vibes. And he is, I believe, 35 and a physician's associate. He has a sister who's got some needs. And I think it's sweet. He has this great job. His hair bothers me profusely.
Young Michael Bolton is what I called him.
I feel like their energy, like she's in digital marketing, as I mentioned, and she's really goofy. They're kind of too goofy together, 2 goofballs in the middle of Minneapolis. I just don't know if there's like, they take it seriously enough.
The fact that we didn't lead with them, they are 2 cartoon characters that have met in Looney Tune land. And I'm so excited to watch them. First of all, so to speak frankly, her extensions need to go. They're so bad and so obvious. And like, it's so, she either needs way more of them or none. So, and she's like perfectly beautiful. And I find her to be so pretty. And I'm so into her. But her extensions are really bad. All this to say, they are a match made in heaven. Oh my God. When they saw each other and met each other, and first of all, he's like the most Minnesota person. His voice, he was like, hey, what are you doing? Like he's Minnesota born, and like DNA Minnesota.
Yeah.
And for them to come together, and they were like laughing and jumping around like freaks. And I mean, we've never seen a meeting like that on this show yet. Am I wrong?
I know, but they're almost like too much of a pal. Like, I don't.
Oh, yeah. Like, is she going to be like, you're just my best friend and I don't love you? Like,
I kind of feel like
yeah,
that.
we don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. I can't wait to watch it though. But like, to see them be like, they were like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah. Like, they were like, it was literally like the Animaniacs coming out of the like WB like water tower. Like, and they were running around. Like, we were dying laughing at the two of them.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how that's going to work out.
No, I mean, no, me neither. But like, I cannot wait to watch them. They are so watchable to me. They are truly two cartoon characters. I'm so obsessed with them.
Then I wanted to talk to you about another couple, which is Daniel and Taylor. Now, Taylor's 32 and a colonoscopy nurse, and she just wants a genuine, loyal, caring, adventurous, and funny guy. And if you can make me laugh, the rest is history. They seem to really connect in the pods. Had a lot in common and had a lot of like chemistry. However, they get engaged.
Did they?
I thought so.
They were like, we both love to take Christmas card pictures.
No, I think
I called them the Hallmark.
Sweet.
I called them the Hallmark couple, is what I called them.
Well, then you get to the they get engaged, they see each other. She never looked better. The most beautiful green dress on, gorgeous beyond measure. And then this is what shocked me. And I thought, Chris, I have to talk to you about this because I sat straight up on the couch and said said out loud, I cannot believe this is happening. So it's the next day after they got engaged and they sit down at some sort of at a restaurant. And after she expresses her concern that she believes he may have followed her or tried to follow her in the weeks before the show, thereby getting information from all of her posts about herself and maybe use that as ammunition to curate his own personality so that she would find him to be such a match because they had so much in common. So it's almost like predatorial. And so we're left with her bringing this attention to him and a concern. And he says he did not follow her or attempt to follow her. What do you think?
But like, yeah, well, can't we just like see, where's the proof? You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that it didn't happen.
You'll find out in the next episode.
Oh, really?
Yes. This is what
that's the thing is like, it either happened or it didn't. And we have like a digital receipt of that, don't we? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, one, hello? You know what I mean? It's like, show me that, like, let's get down to brass tacks with it. And two, I just love that they made it. They turned it into a true crime documentary for like that one
investigation.
And I was like, what is happening?
Yes.
Like, I'm not trying to like downplay it at all because it is like, was this person dishonest to me?
That's
and, like,
right.
Did they it does make sense. I get why she's like nervous and concerned and should be, but it was just so funny that it was like, okay, we're in the lobby of our hotel, like let's sit down and like have this like thing where she's confronting him. I was like, what is happening?
I know. Oh, I just couldn't imagine.
No, I like it. I mean, that's a fun wrinkle. That's a fun wrinkle. Yeah.
What is this? But I get how she felt in that moment. It was like, ew, did you just lie about every answer just so I would choose you?
Yeah.
Like that's a creepy feeling.
No, it's creepy. It's a creepy. And when they met in the little hallway, the engagement hallway, I was like, she doesn't like him. And someone was like, no, what? What do you mean? Like, blah, blah. And I was like, she doesn't like, I was just, from the first thing, she's like, should we sit down? And he was like, can I hug you? Like, she like did not, like from the moment she saw him, she was like, I think she like was like, I know him or like, I recognize him.
Mm-hmm.
Like she knew it right away.
I feel like everybody knows everybody in this show.
Yeah, like how big, but it's like, how big is Minneapolis?
Right. I mean? Like, a friend of a friend of a friend.
Why would you know? Yeah.
You know me, like I've been there. I'm like, so wait, what school did you go to? Oh, and then like, what are your cousins'
What
names?
year did you graduate? Yeah,
what year? We're gonna know people in common. So, and by the way, they all look alike already. It looks like one big Nordic family.
Yeah, truly.
Minneapolis is one big Nordic family, right?
Yeah.
First, I was like, oh God, that is so creepy. And then I thought, I mean, you all look alike. You all probably have been at the same party at some point in college because they're about the same age. She's 32, he's 30. I mean, they've probably been in the same bar at some point, right?
But also, like, what does it matter?
Well, I think it would hurt for her. Like, it was so specific. Like, you like Taco Bell? I love Christmas. I don't know. It'd be like, okay, let's
But
turn.
I'm sorry.
Let me reverse it on you.
Yeah,
like
okay,
you meet somebody through this process, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love the Spice Girls so much. I actually have a picture of them on my wall." You'd be like, "Oh my God, that's crazy."
So do I. It's a piece of cardboard.
That's so weird. Oh my God, I love Cher. Or like if it was like so specific to you, you might go, okay,
I'm
this
aware,
is like
but
a little too much.
Liking Christmas and Taco Bell to me are not. Like, sorry to say, like, let's really act like that's not every American person that eats Taco Bell.
Can I tell you something? I've never had Taco Bell my whole life.
Ever in your life?
Never.
It's the only fast food that I eat anymore.
But when I was growing up, we didn't have Taco Bell where I lived.
Oh, we did.
We didn't have it.
A Crunchwrap Supreme will just change your whole life.
Yeah, I've never had it. And
especially if you got a bit of the bottle flu.
The CFO of Taco Bell, I still never had it.
Really?
Yeah.
We got to change that.
Although, by the way, she was a vegetarian, but then she started to eat the beef tacos at Taco Bell.
Yeah, they're fucking great.
Because they're great.
Going to tell you.
Wow. I'm going to do that this week. I'm going to go to Taco Bell. I'll report back. I've never been there.
Please, a Crunchwrap Supreme.
Okay.
Just as it is. You're going to love it. Do you eat fast food? I feel like you don't. No. You're a very healthy eater. So that's the thing. You might be like, this is disgusting. And
I might actually barf.
Yeah. Because you don't eat any fast food. I mean, I
don't.
I love Taco Bell though. You're probably going to hate it.
With a Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One, you earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Plus, no preset spending limit helps your purchasing power adapt to meet your business needs. Jorge Gaviria, founder of Macienda, reinvests his 2% cash back to help grow the business with new products. What could the Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One do for your business? Capital One, what's in your wallet? Find out more at CapitalOne.com/SparkCashPlus. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking for the ultimate night out? Experience the action from a luxury suite at Capital One Arena. Watch Ovechkin chase history as the Capitals hit the ice, or catch the Wizards take on the NBA's best. Rock out with Disturbed, vibe with Mary J. Blige, or dance the night away with Kylie Minogue. Premium seating, VIP service, and unforgettable moments all under one roof. Book your suite now at CapitalOneArena.com/premier. Capital One Arena. Watch in style, live in the moment.
Okay, Hassan has a few notes that I'm going to put in.
I would love to, because you told me, you're like, I am screaming from his notes.
Because he will we'll watch something and he doesn't watch the show with me usually. He will clue in when we were at my mom's and it's on and we're watching it together, because my sister and her husband watch it. And so he'll watch it, but he's like, these white idiots, what is this? So we were watching it together and he was slamming these people down to the studs. Some of it just being off the cuff shit that's won't make sense now. But what is his name? David, the one that's the Botox man.
Yes.
He said, I called him the plastic surgeon wannabe. I was like, oh, he's a plastic surgeon. I was like, oh, he's not even a plastic surgeon. And so we were making fun of him for that. And I said, he said, plastic surgeon wannabe looks like someone who's drunk at noon watching a game that they're not even going to. Watching a football game at their house, piss ass drunk at noon.
Oh, yeah.
And then he said that, when the guy was like, I'm in a book club. This is Dave, the plastic surgeon wannabe, was like, I'm in a book club, but people tell me I don't read because I listen to the audiobooks. And he goes, when I read, I don't comprehend what I read. And basically said that he doesn't have reading comprehension. Hassan was beside himself.
Oh, you know why he does the audiobooks? Because he has ADHD.
I do them too because I can listen while I'm doing chores. You know what I mean? But I like them because it's listening to a podcast where it's I'm doing the dishes, but I can be listening to a book. You know what I mean?
Oh, by the way, I know he's ADHD because he said he likes to start multiple businesses at once.
Yeah. He's I want to have 5 businesses. And we're you can't
that
read.
Sounds right.
And we were you can't read.
He can read. It's just, he can't sit and read a book.
I know,
it's
too
distracted.
easy. It was too easy though. It was too easy. But yeah, those are the main ones. But then we were we didn't even talk about Meg, the flight attendant, who is a fucking lunatic. Hassan was Meg
is an oncology nurse.
No, she's a flight attendant.
Is she?
He thought this too. He thought that Meg was an oncology nurse. I was she literally says that she has a sexy flight attendant voice. That the other flight attendant.
No, but she's an oncology nurse. She really is.
Or someone else is too.
Yeah, Meg and Sarah are both.
She's
oncology nurses, and Taylor
Meg
is a colonoscopy nurse.
Oh God, wait, why wasn't she? We needed to hear more about that.
Oh, I know that. I thought, oh my God, that's a doozy of a job.
I'm excited. Okay. I'm excited for them to do the like, let's all meet up back in Minneapolis and like everyone comes.
Oh no, it's the best.
Because I need to see like your girl that you hate that I love that with like her two guys that like.
Wait, did you see the preview?
When she's like, oh no, that's him. And she like has pink hair. Yeah.
She has purple hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the fun part of the show is they're all kind of like hanging back. And like, I think a lot of people actually become quite good friends. Those two will never be friends. Meg and Madison. Just it will never happen.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Meg's going to be like, you sabotaged. You knew that I liked him and you were planting things in my head on purpose. They should not share the name of the person that's like in their top.
Oh no, I want them to. When they kept being like, we don't know. Because remember we didn't even get into like any of that stuff. I was like, whenever like the one, what was the school teacher, like the curriculums person? Lauren. She was like freaking that Molly girl was like with like that, like David liked her. And she was having like a mental breakdown about it. And it's like, just talk about it. And then I loved when she came back in and she was like, can we talk about this? I'm so sorry. It's so weird. And then she was like, let me tell you everything and kind of like put it all out on the table. And like, I hope that you guys get together. I really liked that. I like found that very fun. And I like that they were
trying to put it into their perspective. You really like someone, and then you overhear another person who is totally dissimilar to you saying, "I think I found the one." That must be mind bending to go.
I know.
If you like me, how do you also like them? Because they are so completely diametrically different than me. That is a head trip.
Yeah. Well, I will say. Okay, not to defend my girl more, and I know that I'm speaking to a brick wall because you hate her, but
Lauren. I don't hate her. I think she's just incredibly boring.
Madison.
Oh, I don't like Madison. No.
Mm-mm. Remember whenever they came back in the thing that I don't like is I wanted to hear this more. She was going to break up with that guy,
Mason.
Mm-hmm. And then he was like, "I'm committed to you," and she was like, "Oh, how did it go? Did you break up with him?" And she was like, well, no, he like said he like really liked me and I was his number one. So now I'm like in a rock and a hard place. Like, what do I do? Like she kind of was like gonna end it. And then he said that to her. And then it like complicated things worse. You know what I mean?
Well, I love it when Alex is like, yeah, I just don't think it's made for us. And then she leaves, packs up her notebook and she's like, I think it's time for me to go. Yeah. And I think she was riding high. Like I got all these guys in love with me. And then she's like the one guy that she had really kind of chosen at the end was like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out. And I thought, good for him. And I say this to everybody who is in this period of their life where they're feeling very sad about a relationship not working out. It is very easy to get married. It is very hard to get divorced. If someone else, the other person doesn't want to be with you in any way, make sure you know now before you get married.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the most diabolical thing I think was happening. Mr. Little Harry Jowsey, I got bullied my whole life.
Alex,
the minute he found out, when he was like, I have a girlfriend. And the minute he found out who the other person was, he like was like all over him, like consoling him and being like, oh no, it went bad for you. Tell me everything about it. Oh, I feel so bad. Did he know
that it was Madison? Did he know that it was Madison?
He knew the whole thing. He knew everything. And he then whispered to the other guy, it's Mason that he doesn't. Mason is the other guy. Mason's the other guy. And then Mason came over and was like, I'm so happy for you that you're like, that you guys are doing, like you're doing well with your number one. And he was like, yeah, thanks so much, blah, blah. And then whenever Mason was like sad one day, he was like, afterwards, he came over and was like, oh my God, like tell me everything, like blah, blah. And was trying to pretend to be like consoling him, but wanted to hear like what went on their date.
Yeah, he was gathering.
And I was like, that's fucking, but that right there, you know for a fact that that's like, that you're like, he's the number two, and you're like, and you know that he doesn't know, but you know. That's
we need to hear that. That's going to be fun to unravel.
I want them
reunion.
to fight. I want them to fight at the reunion about that, because that to me is like blatantly fucked up and diabolical.
Yeah, because they're not going to know that information when they meet up at the pub.
No, at all. Like
that's going to be later. But at that point, it's
unless
like
the producers are like, let's get this out there now. So like let's have people tell them.
Well, they might, because it might be boring.
Which I'm like, my fingers are crossed. I want that. I want that desperately for them to. But like at the reunion, like.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun because that was like, to me, Madison pales in comparison to like little Harry Jowsey Alex.
By the way, it'd be really funny. You know how in the last season we couldn't stop laughing at the couple that had the weird Zoolander glow up for the reunion? I want every person who shows up for the reunion to have some bonkers selling sunset outfit. Like, I want the Hervé Leger gown, the coin purses, the high heels.
I know.
Weird geometric.
We're like already so excited for the
hairstyles.
reunion, and we haven't even gotten to Mexico yet, and we're already like at the reunion, like planning the beats of the reunion for them.
What does Madison dress up as for the reunion? Does she go like full, like elegant
No,
woman?
she'll do like
bun?
She'll do like cool girl, like kind of what she was already
She'll be like
wearing,
in a jean jacket or not, or a
cool
leather
girl.
coat or something. Yeah,
or just like those little like nothing there dress. You know what I mean? That's like
Yeah. Like that girl on Summer House who wears basically like just a shred of
like
clothing.
a sheet wrapped around her. Yeah, that to me is like what she'll wear because she's just like that's her. I can't believe we disagree about. I can't believe
she
we disagree
really
about that.
loves to play.
I like when we
emotions.
disagree though because I like when we.
How boring if we were like, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
No. Do we think that? What are the boards saying? What's Instagram's? I haven't seen one thing about it. What is like Instagram saying?
Okay,
Who do they like? And
I started watching like 3 weeks ago or something, and then I came across this TikTok of a girl who had dated Ben, and she said
Hassan showed me this.
Yeah, he just wanted to be famous his whole life, and I thought, well, yeah, he's like the guy that I liked in the last season that you hated, Nick.
Oh, brother, yeah. Wow, we really do disagree on a lot of them, don't we? Yeah, but he's the one that's like, I love Jesus, and like,
I'm not totally buying that.
No, me either. And good for that girl. We didn't even talk about Sarah. I really like her.
She's not really for the show. She's too normal.
I find her really pretty, but she's like, I think she's going to be like, no, I like need someone like that. Like she to me is like has a good head on her shoulders, and I'm like, you don't need this. She'll find some normal guy after being on the show. And we'll be like, at the reunion, she'll be like, I'm engaged to some other guy who's like great. And we'll be like, that's great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And he has like a cool job and a cool life. And we're going to be so happy together. The one couple that's together, Devin and Virginia.
Virginia is a hot
knockout.
Body for sin, as I like to say.
Yes.
Like,
gorgeous.
Wow, yowza at her. She was a hot. I don't think they're going to make it though.
I don't think they're going to make it, and here's why. She said something like, I've never dated a nice guy. I don't like to hear that, especially from 34-year-old health recruiter.
No, and especially the outfit that she wore to meet her husband. That was like a barely there. You want to talk about barely there dress? It was like mini skirt with sleeves that don't have shoulder. Like it was, whoa.
Remember when they were in that one dating scene?
Papa Pia. Like, it was like, whoa.
Yeah, Papa Pia. Remember the one scene, she's like, well, you're going to love my outfit today. And he's like, what are you wearing? And she's like going through explaining this like, I don't know, this like white little doozy of a dress. And I thought, I don't know if her sexual energy can match the basketball coach for youth. I don't know. He seemed kind of like...
he also to me is
mid?
Like...
He seems mid.
He's just very like... I don't know. He just is very like, oh, I've had these struggles, but then like, I can't get past the thing of him being like, then someone else opens up to you and then you like shame them right to their face. Like that's like not a partner that, you know what I mean? You have to just receive it and then be like, let me go on with my life and then we'll come back to this. Like he wants people to be vulnerable to him, but he wants people to accept his vulnerability. But when other people do it to him, he says, no, that's not good.
You know what I think his problem is? I think he talks too much about basketball. Like everything is
you don't say
basketball. Where I'd be like, got it. Like he needs to be with somebody who cares about basketball as much as he does. And unfortunately, I think that's Brittany.
Yeah.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah. No, I think him and Brittany should have been together. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear them say, I'd love for them to talk about that when they go to like some random bar where what's her name has pink hair and they're all there and then they do their little like pull asides.
Yeah. They're like, what about that 3-pointer?
Like, I want to skip through Mexico. I'm like, nope, don't care about that. Yeah, sure, you like each other, you don't.
I care about Mexico because I want to know who has sex and who doesn't.
Yeah, true, same.
That's
what am I even saying? What am I even saying? Okay, who do we think?
I'm like a mother of 5, and people are like, why do you care? Because I think that is the element of the show that is that really hinges for these couples, is like they've talked through the wall, but then they see each other, and I'm just like, how honest were you in that moment when the curtain was lifted? How much do you actually have an attraction to them? And when you go back to the Mexican headquarters, or when you go back to the Honduras headquarters, like,
where are they? Where do they go?
Honduras. So does it turn into anything?
That's cool.
Yeah, no, look beautiful wherever that was.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so who do we think?
Lisa Left Eye Lopez died, Honduras.
I think so.
God rest.
R.I.P. Okay, who do we think is making it? Like, can we do our predictions? I love this. Is my favorite part.
We just did a Lisa Left Eye Lopez memory in the middle of Love is Blind. This is why I love the world that we live in.
Okay, so Monica and Joey, which PS they have literally in this picture of like click to reveal the final couples, they literally have the same hair.
I think they just have too, I think they're just too much of pals. I don't see sexual chemistry. I think they would be really great friends.
Okay, you think it's going to get to Honduras and they're going to be like,
I just think
the chemistry's
at some
not
point we're going to be like, I don't really want to listen. In the beginning days, you remember the beginning days when you're like clawing somebody up, you're climbing up their body.
Sure.
How many of them have that? That to me, you can talk all you want in these pods, but I really think you need that to make it work.
Not many of them have had that, in my opinion, with mutual.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know. I think Sarah and Ben are going to make it all the way and they're going to get engaged and then she's going to call it off.
Yeah, maybe.
And then I think that she's going to be engaged to someone else at the reunion because he's going to come out. Great. She's going to find out he just like wants to be on the show.
Yeah.
Lauren and David, I think his family meeting the sister is going to be, we're going to see it. It's it's going to either be a roller coaster for her or him. But that's going to be the make or break situation. Obviously, Taylor, there's no way.
I don't see the chemistry when he was kissing her, but listen, again, you want to crawl up somebody. You're so sexually charged when you meet them. And I'm not seeing it with a lot of these couples.
Taylor, obviously, are we even making it out of this hotel lobby with Taylor and Daniel? I don't think we are.
Where is that lobby? What kind of lobby is that?
Probably like where they were staying. Because I think everything shoots in LA. Like they don't go to Minneapolis to like shoot it. Like they fly them to LA.
So they're just like at a Motel 6.
So they're like at like a Holiday Inn. Like they're probably the crew is at, they're at. You know what I mean? It's like.
Do you think they put a Christmas tree in the corner just to screw with them? Why are two people so obsessed with Christmas?
But also it's like that.
What?
It's like the biggest American holiday you both like. Got it. Cool. You know what I mean? Like
next season, they're going to have two people obsessed with. I have a friend who's totally obsessed with Valentine's Day. I mean, it's like her favorite year of the year. I'm like, why?
That person is not me. I can tell you that. And it's not you. I know that.
Well, it's my friend. She wears pink all the time. She's like, just loves it.
Yeah. Well, we did it.
We did it. Well, I'm excited for the next episodes. I have to say, I was kind of like bored for a period of time, and because everyone's sort of like melded together, they all look similar and talk similar.
Hassan,
and then it woke me up. I got woken up.
Hassan kept thinking that Mason and Ben were the same, different, each other.
I know.
He was like, "This is the skater." I was like, "That's not the skater." I was like, "This is the skater." Like, and he's like, "No." I'm like, "I know that I'm right. Stop."
I confused
Alex, like 6 fights.
Alex and Daniel, to me, they merged into the same person.
Yeah, they all look alike. Yeah.
Daleks. They were Daleks. I couldn't tell them apart.
Yeah. I'm upset that like some of them walked away when it was like, no, just be with your number 2 and just go to Mexico and see what I want them to just be like, should we just try? And they're like, okay. And like, I wish that, what's his name? Mason and like Meg. Mason and Meg would be together. And then I want Harry Jousey, Minnesota, and your girl Madison to be together, and then
she's very pretty, I will say. Very,
and then
very
I want
pretty.
them. No, I think like the one.
She's very beautiful,
so pretty, but she looks like trouble. You know, she is trouble. I will give you that, but. I need them in Honduras to see each other together. You know what I mean?
I need it all too. I don't want to
see them in Minnesota. I need to see them in Honduras.
Because remember, they don't know what they look like.
I know.
So they're like,
I don't want to wait another 2 weeks to see that happen, Kate. I want to see that.
Okay, but here's my question for you. This is what I kept thinking the whole time. Madison had a different aesthetic than the rest of them. All the girls were wearing the chunky braided heels, and she's got the nose ring, and she's just very like
no, she has pierced nipples, Kate.
In her body and all this stuff. And I was
it was driving them wild.
But how are these boring like Minnesota dudes gonna react when they see her in person? Will they be hot for it, or will they reject her? Because they're gonna go, my family wouldn't accept this.
This is what's gonna happen. Mason is gonna like
lose it.
Mason is gonna be like jizzing his pants because when they were doing like sexy talk.
He's a cinematographer,
and was a skater. She's like a skater girl. She's a skater girl, even if she's not a skater. But do you know what I mean? Like she's like a girl that like would be into a guy that's a skateboarder. Yeah, and so like she's like a hot reformed skateboarder. The two of them, when they see each other in person, he's gonna be like cumming his pants in the
wait a minute,
the gross bar that they're in.
When he says he's a cinematographer, is he just like a guy with a camera, like a half pipe?
No, he said that he like records. He started recording his friends skateboarding, now he like does commercials and does like I would like hire him to be like a camera operator on like something I do.
Wow. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which like good
question. Like who should he be with then?
Good money. He physically is going to be like so into her, and they're going to look at each other and because he was cute enough. Mm-hmm. He had like a little like Eastern European thing going on that was cute. He had nice forearms and nice arms. I was like, because he holds the camera all day. And I was like, like,
good point.
Ding dong. He had a good, like, he would have a good body probably. And he probably puts it down. He was a skateboarder. They were like, they can fuck, you know? So like, when he was like, she's like, I have pierced nipples.
Why do you equate that? Why do you equate those two things together?
I don't make the rules.
Can make sweet love. Why?
I just think, I'm just telling you what I know.
Okay.
Right. Just telling you what I know. Okay.
Is this an extreme sports thing? Like, can we just expect that of all of them?
Maybe. So this is what I'm saying is that I think physically they're going to be like, fuck, we should have been together. And they're at least going to bang each other like off camera. Like, and we're going to find out at the reunion that they probably banged. But she's going to see Minnesota Harry Jousey and be like, I was going to be with you. Like, bull. Like she's going to be like this little popcorn shrimp of a man wearing a crew neck sweater. Like
he's too cut, you know, cut and dry for her.
She like went and like, didn't she like teach English in like Jordan, like in Africa? Like she's like been around the world. You know what I mean? Who
she should be with? The guy from the Hills, Justin Bobby.
Yeah, her and Justin Bobby would be. That'd be a recipe for disaster.
Someone said like passion.
Someone was like, I found my twin flame. And I was like, twin flames are bad. Like I can't remember who, but I was like, no, like, like I was like, red flag.
Hey, by the way, you don't want someone who's so similar to you.
No.
Boring.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we did it.
Yeah. I married a tech guy and I can barely figure out half the stuff I work my computer.
You call me and you're like, how do I upload this thing? I'm like, what?
Now, the funny part is a lot of people will say, well, you're married to a tech guy, so he must do everything. No, he doesn't help me at all. He gets annoyed if he has to help me with
he's
something.
Like, I have to load an app on your phone. Like, you fucking idiot.
By the way, we did not have a working printer for approximately 6 years in our house. He works in tech.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, you know what? He's like, I have no time for that.
Sometimes when you're in it and it's your job, you can't.
He can't do it. He's like, I'm done. I've clocked out. Yeah.
No, he clocked out.
One of them kids had like the fake YouTube channel, which doesn't really work. And she was just so upset because she's trying to, figure out how to make it work. Because of course we don't really want her to have it. And she's like, Dad, can't you make it? Can't you fix it? And he said, no, I'm busy doing something. And she comes to me and she goes, I have been asking him for months to help me.
They're such your children. It's not even funny.
And I go, what do you think my life's like, man? I didn't have a working printer for years.
Meanwhile,
he can't fix my email.
Meanwhile, your child came for comfort. You were like, get in line, bitch.
Exactly. Yeah. No. I was like, what do you think my life has been like, girl?
Oh, God.
Anyway, that's what we said it all. What are you working on right now this week? Did I just I just did an episode with you.
We just did an episode. It'll be 2 weeks from now, I think. We fixed Jessica Biel, which is going to be a really good one. This week is, who is this week?
I have to say, I laugh a lot in that episode.
Yeah, that was a great episode for someone
Claire Timberlake.
Yeah, it's really bad. I mean, she needs fixed, is what she needs.
She sure does.
This week is going to be Raven Simone.
Ooh, okay.
With Sequoia Holmes, who does Black People of Paramore. And it's a very, very good episode. Okay. And then next week will be one of our pod mothers, Kate Casey, with Jessica Biel.
Raven Simone was the most adorable little girl when she was on The Cosby Show.
She sure was.
Talk about talent. She was precocious. That was a great show. It's so sad.
I know.
What happened with him.
The
best episode ever of The Cosby Show was when they were all singing. Like the music starts and all the kids are kind of up the stairs and Claire and Cliff start singing. Do you remember that episode?
No, I don't remember that one.
It's really good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you. Tell everyone where they can find you.
Find me at the Chris DeRosa, and you can find the show at Fixing Famous People.
Thank you, Chris.
Until next time.
The amazing Kate Casey.
I want to thank my great guest, Chris, and remind him and all of you to click subscribe and to leave a 5-star review and join the Facebook group Reality Life with KKC. Bonus episodes at Patreon, patreon.com/Kate Casey. Follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at KKCCA. TikTok, it's Kate Casey. Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky at Kate Casey. And you got to check for all new episodes this week. Oh, and my what to watch list is at katecasey.substack.com.
At 24, I lost my narrative, or rather it was stolen from me. And the Monica Lewinsky that my friends and family knew was usurped by false narratives, callous jokes, and politics. I would define reclaiming as to take back what was yours. Something you possess is lost or stolen, and ultimately you triumph in finding it again. So I think listeners can expect me to be chatting with folks, both recognizable and unrecognizable names, about the way that people have navigated roads to triumph. My hope is that people will finish an episode of Reclaiming and feel like they filled their tank up. They connected with the people that I'm talking to and leave with maybe some nuggets that help them feel a little more hopeful. Follow Reclaiming with Monica Lewinsky on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Reclaiming early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.